Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than usual because lately I have been juggling different platforms when it comes to playing Black Ops Cold War. I used to be playing it on the Xbox One X, but then just recently I upgraded to an Xbox Series X, so I've been playing it on that, and then I just bought the game on PC as well. Now I've played it on PC quite a bit in the past because they had like some free weeks or free weekends that you can play the multiplayer and zombies, so I have a pretty good idea of what it was like on PC before I bought the full game. And so now I thought I would share with you guys the differences on playing Black Ops Cold War on these three platforms. When we get to the PC portion of this video, I'll make sure to show on screen the different specs that I have for my computer, because everybody has different specs when it comes to their own custom built PC, or even if it's a pre-built PC. So starting with the Xbox One X, which is the gameplay you are seeing right now, the thing about the One X, and this was a complaint I had before I even upgraded to a Series X or even played on PC, is that the game literally shuts off your Xbox. I don't know how many of you have experienced this issue, but there has been so many, I mean so many times where when I am playing Black Ops Cold War, all of a sudden my game freezes for like 3 seconds and then I can hear my Xbox turn itself off. It's so annoying, and I don't know why it does it to those consoles. And I've even heard it bricks your consoles, which is super bad. Now, I will admit, towards the last time I've played Black Ops Cold War on the One X, they did make updates where it didn't like turn off your Xbox as much, which I guess is nice, but the game still kind of performs a little slow on the One X. I remember when I was playing the campaign, like literally every single cutscene I had was like extremely choppy, and honestly, it was just so irritating going through the campaign and just seeing how bad the choppiness was of the cutscenes. Like literally the audio would stay like in synced, but it wouldn't stay in synced with the actual video that it was showing. It was like the video was like slowed down. It was really bad when it came to the campaign. I'm sure it's fixed to where it's a lot more polished now compared to when I played it when the game first came out. But that was just something I noticed right off the bat. Another thing is navigating through the main menu, whether in multiplayer or zombies. You could be going through the challenges, you could be looking at the different calling cards you have. And when you look at the different calling cards, they don't load very fast at all. Like sometimes you have to like wait there for like 30 seconds just for them to load. It's like so irritating, like how slow performing Black Ops Cold War is on the One X. Even though it's good enough to where I can still play the game, like gameplay wise, everything was pretty much fine, but it was just navigating through the menus and everything just seemed so unpolished. It was really irritating to look at. But now let's move on to the Series X and show some gameplay of that. Now, like, this isn't going to be like a side-by-side comparison of like all three of these platforms I'm going to be talking about. I just would like to show some gameplay of the three platforms just so you guys can see a slight difference when it comes to graphics wise with these games. Now, there is an enhanced version for Black Ops Cold War on the Series X, which is a separate application that you have for the One X, and so you could have like a hard drive, an external hard drive for your One X, and you could plug it into your Series X and you can still play all those games. However, when it comes to Black Ops Cold War, you're gonna have to re-download the game as the Series X application just because it's an enhanced version of the game. When it comes to graphics between the One X and the Series X, there's really not a big difference. Like I have a 4K monitor, so it's pretty easy for me to spot that it's a little bit brighter, it's a little bit more vibrant on the Series X than the One X. However, it's really not that big of a difference when it comes to Black Ops Cold War specifically. However, the biggest thing you'll definitely notice playing on the Series X is it performs way faster. Like the game loads up really quickly. When it comes to loading up maps, it goes pretty fast. When it comes to like especially Outbreak. Like, if you guys ever play Outbreak, the zombies mode on the Series X, and every time you teleport to a new location or a new map, basically, it always has to do the process of loading up the map. Well, the Series X is pretty convenient playing Outbreak because when you're going to a new location, it doesn't take very long to actually load it in, which is really nice. And same thing with the menu, navigating through the menus, whether you're looking at your challenges, going through your calling cards, they all load up really fast, and it's so much nicer. It feels so nice upgrading from a One X to a Series X just because the game performs really fast. Now, the game also does, like I said before, has enhanced graphics, but it's really not that noticeable. The biggest thing you'll notice is the performance of the game and how much faster it actually runs. And I believe it can also run at 120 Hz hertz, depending if your monitor can actually perform that high as well. So if you have a monitor that's 120 hertz, then yeah, you'll definitely notice that as well. Now, we've talked about the One X and the Series X. What about PC? Well, on screen, I have the specs for my PC to give you guys an idea what I'm working with here. The gameplay you guys are watching was recorded in 1080p through NVIDIA's captured software program. I'm still kind of new when it comes to recording gameplay on PC, but I have played the PC version of Black Ops Cold War on a 4K monitor as well, and I can pretty much say that the graphics aren't that much better than the Series X version. It's definitely a pretty big notice when you play from the One X to the PC version, but when it comes to the Series X and PC, they both are really similar, whether that's graphics or performance wise. I would say PC could probably have better graphics if you have maybe a 3080 graphics card installed and maybe have 32 gigs of RAM as well, but I don't have that. But from what I noticed on the monitor I have on the PC that I have built myself, there really isn't a huge difference between the Series X and the PC version. With PC, though, of course, you can definitely change the graphics settings the way you like it to make it fit well for your computer so it can run it better. So you could technically make the PC version a little bit better than the Xbox Series X version. Performance-wise, when it comes to loading in and out of maps, it's relatively the same. There's times where I feel like the Series X actually runs a little bit faster than my PC, which is quite crazy to think of. Another thing is that on PC, I was playing on mouse and keyboard, so the gameplay isn't going to be super great. You guys are watching either, but I mean, obviously on the Xbox you can also plug in a mouse and keyboard if you really wanted to, and the game has FOV sliders on Xbox as well, which is pretty cool. But overall, the PC version for Black Ops Cold War is about the same as the Series X version. Like I said, there's times where the Series X felt like it ran a little bit faster, but that also could be depending on my PC as well because of the specs I have. So anyway, when it comes to, I guess, wanting to upgrade to a next generation console or switching over to PC, is it worth it for Black Ops Cold War? I really don't think so. This game doesn't seem like it was kind of half-assed in a way, and so I feel like when it comes to future Call of Duty titles, it might be more beneficial to switch to a next generation console or PC, just because I have known in the past when we switched from the 360 to the Xbox One, the next Call of Duty games just were just absolute garbage on the old gen consoles. So when it comes to Black Ops Cold War, you're going to be fine for now if you're playing on an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. But when it comes to the next Call of Duty game, which might be called World War II Vanguard, we might have to switch strictly over to PC or to the next generation consoles, the Series X or the PlayStation 5, just because they're just not going to be really supported on those old gen consoles, so just be aware of that. But anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty videos in the future, and I shall catch you guys later.